Donald Trump is a convicted felon. And under Canadian immigration law, that means, at least on paper, he shouldn't even be allowed to set foot in this country. And yet, Trump is scheduled to attend the upcoming G7 conference, which Canada is hosting. So how does that work? Can Canada just ignore its own rules? Is Trump getting some kind of special treatment? How does a convicted criminal walk into our country that bans convicted criminals? And why is Canada rolling out the red carpet instead of slamming the door? Today, we'll look at the strange collision between Canadian law and global politics. And spoiler alert, diplomacy can be a bit of a double standard. Stay with me until the end, when we'll take an informal poll of whether he should be let in or not. Okay, anyone who's ever watched the popular reality show, Border Security, Canada's Frontline, knows that under Canada's Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, foreign nationals with a criminal record, especially a felony, are inadmissible to our country, and they are turned away pretty much always. This includes DUIs, drug convictions, and definitely criminal fraud or obstruction-type crimes like the ones that Trump committed. Yet, here he is, with criminal convictions that aren't just real, but are world-famous. And he's about to stroll across the border to attend a high-level global summit. Trump was convicted in New York last spring of 34 felony counts for falsifying business records in connection with a hush money payment made to a porn star before the 2016 presidential elections. Unfortunately, there's nothing under American law or in the U.S. Constitution that prevents a felon from leaving the nation. And Trump has subsequently elected, or rather been reelected as president. And that causes a complication when he travels. Canada is one of several countries in the world that refuses entry to felons. After Trump was convicted in May, a federal official laid out the Canadian government's understanding of how that rule might apply in the event that Trump was elected. The bottom line? It will likely fall upon Canada's immigration minister to grant Trump special status to make him legally admissible for entry into the country. They can issue a temporary resident permit, or TRP, or grant ministerial discretion in cases of national interest or diplomatic necessity. Heads of state or government officials attending international summits are usually exempted through backdoor diplomatic channels. Trump may be granted entry, not because he qualifies, but because international diplomacy trumps border policy, pun intended. The G7 isn't just a social gathering, it's a formal diplomatic summit, and Canada, as its host, is obligated to allow G7 leaders to attend. Refusing entry to Trump would cause an international crisis, even if technically justified under our immigration law. But what if Canada did refuse his entry? Let's be honest, a lot of Canadians would love to see Trump turned away at the border. He's not exactly beloved north of the 49th. Look, aside from all his criminal convictions and our immigration law, he's spoken out aggressively against Canada and even threatened hostility against our borders, our economy, and our very sovereignty. More than a few Canadians feel like we're almost in some kind of a state of war with Trump's America. The idea of just saying, no thanks, you're not welcome here is really appealing and fair. But that could be seen as a breach of diplomatic norms and provoke serious backlash from the U.S. It would almost instantly become a political firestorm, one that could overshadow not just the summit, but our entire relationship for years to come. So Canada has to weigh public sentiment against international obligations and political consequences. Trump's case exposes the double standards in global diplomacy. Regular people get turned away at the border all the time for much less, but powerful figures, even convicted felons, are often above the rules, at least when it's politically convenient to enforce them. So yes, Trump is a convicted felon. And yes, under normal circumstances, he wouldn't be allowed into Canada. But no, he won't be stopped at the border. Why? Because global politics has a different set of rules. Or in this case, no rules at all if you're rich, famous, and have your own Boeing 757. So, while the rest of us are triple checking our passports, Trump gets to cruise in on a technicality wrapped in a diplomatic courtesy. Is it fair? Not even close. Is it legal? Barely. Is it happening? Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching. Now, tell me, what do you think? Here's the question. Should Donald Trump be allowed to enter Canada if it is for official government purposes? Yes or no? And secondly, should he be allowed in for any other purposes or occasions, like speeches, business, personal matters, what have you? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more political commentary and information with a large dose of Canadian skepticism. Here are a few other videos that you might enjoy. Thanks, and have a great week.